Yeah, it's pretty rancid down there.
Okay, come on. Seriously? Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here. This is Mollywood, my innovative marine Nuvo Fusion Mini 40. I'm showing you the single filter sock that I use in here. There is space for another filter sock, but I'm using that spot for the UV sterilizer. I have this set up with the filter stock stuffed with filter floss and a couple other things that I will show you, topped off by a thin little filter pad that's really meant just to collect large particulates from the overflow. The filter sock itself gets clogged up too quickly. I don't have any practical way of getting it clean because really I am not going to wash one single filter sock in my washing machine.
So you can see how dirty it is. It's pretty bad. All the way down. It's got all kinds of crap growing on it.
The first mistake I made was stuffing the filter sock full of things like this little packet of biochemsorb, and I also added a bag of Fosguard and some other types of filter media that I had laying around just to catch particles. And the mistake there was that I didn't know the filter sock would get clogged up so quickly. Here's the original filter sock, which is as clean as I can get it. So let's compare it to the one that I just took out. And oh yeah, it looks sparkling, but really I have my doubts. So my point mentioning this is to say that no matter what you do, you will never get these things completely clean. So I had to come up with something different. So while I go through this cleaning process on time lapse, I'll tell you my philosophy for my filter sock hack. Here's what I'm thinking. Filter socks catch everything, as I said before. I'd prefer a filter sock to catch only the super fine particles, because that way they wouldn't get dirty so fast. I'd rather stuff a filter sock with something that will catch the big particles that I can remove and throw away every so often. In this case, it will be with every water change. So now it's clean, or kind of clean, or what passes for clean. When I look at it, I'm sorry, I don't see clean. So I'll set this aside to dry, and now I'll show you how I'm going to modify the filter sock.
So the first thing we're going to do, you may be horrified at this, I'm going to cut this. Maybe right about here. Not for the faint of heart, because these things are freaking expensive to buy. So what I've got now is something with a hole in the bottom. And what I'm going to use to plug that hole is egg crate. I'm going to create a little egg crate tray that's going to go in the bottom of that hole. It's going to be friction fit. I'm kind of eyeballing where I need to cut this here. Because remember, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just theorizing that this might do what I want it to do. So here's where it has to fit, like so, and then come around and across here. So if I cut it here, I'm going to see if I can stretch it. Okay, so what I want to do is get this in here. Maybe I'm going from the top.
Part of the reason for using a friction fit is so that I'll be able to take this all apart later when it's time to clean it again. Bonus.
So my short filter sock now has a bottom in it.
So for around 25 bucks on Amazon, you can get yourself 16 of those little rectangular pouches of biochemsorb. Yep, I took 4 of these filters and I cut each one along the lines where they're fused together. When I used these filters in my original 29-gallon cube, they worked wonders. And what a great way to use it and get the opportunity to polish the water and at the same time have impurities absorbed. So all I need to do here is trim it as close as I can to the fuse line, because obviously I don't want to cut a hole in it. and I'm going to place this in the very bottom on top of the tray. First I'll rinse it, and then I'll push it down in there, and all the water that goes through the filter sock will then travel through this little pouch. But I'm going to line the inside of the filter sock with something to catch particulates, because after all, the whole idea here is to reduce the frequency with which I have to clean these things. This is a perfect use for pinky filter. All I need to do is cut a strip the right width to fit down inside the filter sock and the right length to go down, across, and back up again. Pink side out, because the white side collects big stuff and the pink side collects fine stuff. And the final step is to add filter floss. The idea here is not to leave any gaps inside, and it'll also act as support for the little pre-filter pad that I will put on top. When the time comes to change out the filter floss when it gets dirty, my thinking is that I'll simply pull it out, throw it away, and replace it with a clean one. And another benefit is that theoretically, the space that used to be occupied by this could probably be occupied by this. Well, maybe not this, but a bag of Fosguard, maybe carbon. That would be in the bottom of the first chamber below the filter sock. A really good spot for something like that. And here we are back at the tank. Time to put this in and see how it fits. My main concern is that the green pre-filter, which I've already put in place, will be submerged completely. If it isn't, I'll have to change the height of the pinky filter underneath to allow that to happen. And there we go. That's good. That's about perfect. So I'll leave this to do its thing for a few days until the next water change. Here it is, water change day. 4 days earlier, I put the new filter sock in place, and now it's time to check up on it and see how it's doing. Well, the pre-filter pad looks dirty, so I'm going to pull it out of here and take it to the sink and see how the rest of it looks underneath.
Okay, so here we are at my sink, and I have not looked inside here. I don't know what it's looking like. This is the little thin filter pad. It's looking like it's caught a lot of stuff. And here is what the actual filter media looks like that I put in this filter sock. It's pretty dirty. That's good, because that's stuff that did not get through into the water. So here we'll peel it away. The way it looks to me is that the water hit here and then probably deflected off somewhere else, because this is clean, and I may actually reuse this because it's really not that dirty. This I'll discard because it's really compacted. Okay, so what we have here is essentially not that dirty. I mean, if I swipe my hand along it, it is not, like, it's not slimy. So I feel like it worked to do what I wanted it to do, which is not get clogged. If we look at the bottom here, there's our little packet of BioChemSorb, and it looks clean. So really, the water's flowing through the pinky filter and hitting this stuff, but by then, all the gunk is out of it. So when it flows through this filter sock and down through the BioChemSorb, particulates are not getting stuck there. Here, actually, why don't I just pull this out and take a look? Yeah, check this out. It's clean. Like, I don't even think I need to rinse it. I'm pretty happy with how this worked out.
I normally would never even think of trying to rinse filter pads like this, but honestly, it's coming so clean so easily that it makes a lot of sense, and it's far less wasteful. Why would I throw away something that I can clean relatively quickly? In the end, when it gets too dirty to reuse, I'll simply dispose of it. And when the time comes to check how dirty the media is, I love how hassle-free it is to pull it straight out of the filter sock. I may not even need to remove the entire filter sock unit from the tank the next time I need to check it. I look forward to seeing how this works over the longer term, and I'll definitely do an update video down the road a little ways and let you know what's going on. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it.